quality of the skin gave a singular polish. It glittered even when seen at a distance. A nose which achieved a high free curve, and a tendency to throw back her head and carry it well above her, as if to disengage it from the possible entanglements of the rest of her person. If you had seen her walk, you would have felt her to tread the earth after a fashion, suggesting that in a world where she had long since discovered that one couldn't have one's own way, one could never tell what annoying aggression might take place, so that it was well, from hour to hour, to save what one could. Lady Agnes saved her head, her white triangular forehead, over which her close crinkled flaxen hair, reproduced in different shades in her children, made a looped silken canopy like the marquee at a garden party. Her daughters were as tall as herself. That was visible even as they sat there, and one of them, the younger evidently, altogether pretty, a straight, slender, grey-eyed English girl, of the sort who show good figures and fresh complexions. The sister, who was not pretty, was also straight and slender and grey-eyed, but the grey in this case was not so pure, nor were the straightness and the slenderness so maidenly. The brother of these young ladies had taken off his hat as if he felt the air of the summer day heavy in the great pavilion. He was a lean, strong, clear-faced youth, with a formed nose and thick, light brown hair, which lay continuously and profusely back from his forehead, so that to smooth it from the brow to the neck, but a single movement of the hand was required. I cannot describe him better than by saying that he was the sort of young Englishman who looks particularly well in strange lands, and whose general aspect, his inches, his limbs, his friendly eyes, the modulation of his voice, the cleanness of his flesh tints, and the fashion of his garments, excites on the part of those who encounter him in far countries on the ground of a common speech a delightful sympathy of race. This sympathy may sometimes be qualified by the seen limits of his apprehension, but it almost revels as such horizons recede. We shall see quickly enough how accurate a measure it might have taken of Nicholas Dormer. There was food for suspicion, perhaps, in the wandering blankness that sat at moments in his eyes, as if he had no attention at all, not the least in the world, at his command. But it is no more than just to add without delay that this discouraging symptom was known among those who liked him by the indulgent name of dreaminess. By his mother and sisters, for instance, his dreaminess was constantly noted. He is the more welcome to the benefit of such an interpretation, as there is always held to be something engaging in the combination of the muscular and the musing, the mildness of strength. After some time, an interval during which these good people might have appeared to have come individually to the Palais de l'Industrie much less to see the works of art than to think over their domestic affairs, the young man, rousing himself from his reverie, addressed one of the girls. "I say, Biddy, why should we sit moping here all day? Come and take a turn about with me." His younger sister, while he got up, leaned forward a little, looking round her, but she gave for the moment no further sign of complying with his invitation. "Where shall we find you, then, if Peter comes?" asked the other Miss Dormer, making no movement at all. "I dare say Peter won't come. He'll leave us here to cool our heels." "Oh, Nick, dear," Biddy exclaimed in a small, sweet voice of protest. It was plainly her theory that Peter would come, and even a little her fond fear that she might miss him should she quit that spot. "We shall come back in a quarter of an hour. Really, I must look at these things," Nick declared, turning his face to a marble group which stood near them on the right. A man with the skin of a beast round his loins, tussling with a naked woman in some primitive effort of courtship or capture. Lady Agnes followed the direction of her son's eyes, and then observed, "Everything seems very dreadful. I should think Biddy had better sit still. Hasn't she seen enough horrors up above? I dare say that if Peter comes, Julia'll be with him," the elder girl remarked irrelevantly. "Well, then he can take Julia about. That will be more proper," said Lady Agnes. "Mother dear, she doesn't care a rap about art. It's a fearful bore looking at fine things with Julia," Nick returned. "Won't you go with him, Grace?" And Biddy appealed to her sister. "I think she has awfully good taste," Grace exclaimed, not answering this inquiry. "Don't say nasty things about her," Lady Agnes broke out solemnly to her son, after resting her eyes on him a moment with an air of reluctant reprobation. "I say nothing but what she'd say herself," the young man urged. "About some things she has very good taste, but about this kind of thing she has no taste at all." "That's better, I think," said Lady Agnes, turning her eyes again to the kind of thing her son appeared to designate. "She's awfully clever. Awfully," Grace went on with decision. "Awfully."